Thank you, everyone, for joining us. This is the 450 press conference following the Fox Raceway 2 National here in California. Joining us on the 450 side are a couple of our podium finishers. We have Cooper Webb, who finished third today. We have Dylan Ferrandis, our new champion and runner-up finisher today. We also have Christian Craig joining us, who got a season best effort today, as did Max Anstie. He is joining us as well. We'll start at the top. Dylan, congratulations on the championship. It's a pretty significant accomplishment when you look at it in terms of the sport in general. We haven't had a French rider win this title in 30 years with Jean-Michel Bayle. Top of that, it's your first year in this division. You even said it yourself on the podium. You never dreamt of, winning this championship. You always thought a 250 title was yours, that you deserved that, but you never really thought about a 450. You have even shocked yourself. It's been an incredible year for you. You've just looked comfortable all season long. You look like you belong. You just seem to get better. We had our toughest weather conditions today, and you didn't lose a step at all. So talk about the season, what it's been like to experience this, to all of a sudden be a title contender, sustain that all season long, and to wrap it up here today. What has the season been like for you?
Yeah, for sure. It was such an awesome season, and like you say, I never really tried to think about this championship because for me it was like something I never believe I could do it. So I always tried. I always trained and tried to be the best. But first season in 450, new team. Like I never really expect to win, and so that's for sure. I was surprised all season with the result, and then obviously today we had this goal of winning the championship. You never know what can happen. It was all season was a big surprise, and finish like this one round before the end is so unreal. Like honestly, it's the best feeling ever. But I was kind of hard to put emotion on it because I put so much work on it that I just felt it was like just a normal reward on what the on the amount of work I put it before to get to this point. I just felt almost like it was normal, but it wasn't really. So it just felt a little weird on the podium. And I think tomorrow morning when I wake up, I will really realize what happened. And it's just great for me, great for all the people from Yamaha and all the people involved in the program. And we was just really awesome. The track was really good today. In Palau I enjoyed the track, the condition, but I think for the weather was really difficult today for me personally. It was hard again. Like the last two rounds have been really hard for me. I think the with the season, with the end of the seasons coming, it's just hard for the body for everybody. We see many riders being really tired the last few rounds, and especially for me after Ironman, I was really tired, and again today after first Moto I was really empty, and I had to dig deep in Moto 2 to finish out front, and glad I did it.
Awesome. Congratulations on the title. Cooper, move over to you. You said it here on this conference last week, the change to the bike seemed to turn things around for you. Obviously, your confidence came with that. Now you're right where we were thinking you'd be all season. You've got things headed in the direction that, you probably want to. How was the day for you? And do you think, there's a little bit more? Do you think you can break through, maybe pick up a win here at that last round before we wrap the season up?
Like you said, another big breakthrough today and closer to the front, battling with the boys. Great starts have been there all year. But I feel like since the bike changes, I've been able to run up front a bit more consistently. And so, still trying to improve. I still feel like there's some things that I can get better at to maybe fight for a win or even a second. But overall, I'm really happy. I usually am not a huge fan of this track, so I was pretty pumped with my riding today. And like I said, just a few things that we need to work on. But overall, it was a great day. gnarly conditions with being pretty hot and the track being honestly really gnarly. So yeah, I'm happy, and we'll take it from here and see what we can do next week.
Awesome. Christian, obviously this is a home race for you. I think you do tend to step it up a little bit. Your results show, at this track, maybe just generally more comfortable, being on a track that you're familiar with. You now have several fifth place finishes this year. So you've been right there on the step. You've been knocking on the door. You're coming off a pretty big get off and a week off. So clearly you were kind of looking to kind of get back in, and sure you can't be happier with how the day went. With this track change, such a dramatic track change for this venue and going in the opposite direction, how do you think that worked out for the overall racing today, and just how do you feel about getting back in contention, despite being gone for a week last week?
Yeah, the track backwards was trippy at first. It took me probably 3-4 laps to get the timing down in these jumps. You could tell the track went the other way for a long time. So, a lot of the landings were kind of like lip still and steep. But I thought that was cool that they did that. Like the past 3 years, Paul has been pretty much the same. So to flip it around and give us something different, that was cool. And then, it was just brutal out there from practice 1 till the last moto, just how hot and rough it got. That second moto, I never have really like shoulder or arm pump or anything like that, and my shoulders were just so shot from hanging on and just all that chop. So I think that says just how beat up everyone was, and that track was challenging. So good day for me though, especially the past few weeks have been tough for me. Crashes, just okay finishes, but I haven't had like a solid day since Millville, I would say. So to put together 2 motos like that, I'm happy. But I kind of was in my own little pace today. I was a little bit faster than the guys right behind me, and then a tick off of the guys in front of me. So was pretty much just was riding around by myself in 4th or 5th, and just do what I could. But yeah, all in all, it was a good day.
Awesome. And Max, we'll move over to you. You are, it's been I know it's probably a pretty challenging year for you. I mean, it's been a lot of ups and downs, but you've never stopped working at it, never stopped fighting. You and the team, you always talk about how much you guys are really trying to improve things. It looks like today we saw a breakthrough, and you guys took a big step today. We saw Brandon have a good race at Ironman. So it looks like together the team has progressed last couple of weeks. How does it feel to finally just kind of be in the mix, get a good start, run up front a little bit, and just feel like you are running where maybe you feel like you belong?
Yeah, obviously it's good. It's nice for the team, nice for Twisted Tea and all of those guys. They have been, we've been working hard. Unfortunately, I missed Ironman. I got COVID. And right before Ironman, I actually did a good little bit of testing with a Showa guy, and made a big step. Like felt pretty good. So I didn't get to race with that setup in Ironman, so I just literally left it the same and rode with it today, and it worked. So definitely making progress. I know obviously it's late in the season, we've only got 1 race left. It was nice. It was nice to be riding with the guys. Obviously, I'm also not silly. I've been around long enough. I know that there's a fair few guys that are not out there. But should get COVID more often. That's what everyone keeps telling me. I rode pretty good. I rode pretty well today, and I felt all right. And the track was tricky. There was like some cool rhythm sections and stuff, and definitely a bit different. So I don't know. It felt weird for me because for the last 10 days I've done nothing, and this is also a home race. We live here in California, and definitely was borderline even going to ride. I wasn't really sure, and I felt fine, so gave it a go, and ended up doing the best result so far for the team, which is great. And got 7 days to hopefully be firing on all cylinders for next week in Hangtown.
Awesome. We'll open up to the media. Use your raise your hand feature. Andrew or Vista, we'll start with you.
Thank you, Brendan. Hey, Christian, Craig, we all know that you're an incredibly talented rider and athlete. And I'm just wondering, can you tell us what working with and teaming with someone like Dylan Ferrandis has given you in terms of your growth as a rider and as an athlete? What have you seen? What have you learned or gained from that sort of relationship or that team having him as a teammate?
Yeah, I've never really known Dylan until the outdoor season. So got to know him, and we've actually hung out quite a bit. Got to know him and his wife. So it's been pretty fun, especially for how he's doing this season. All I can do is just try to strive to be like, on his level. I see him during the week. We ride at the same track, and he rides like he does on Saturday. He blows everyone's doors off. So it's been fun though. It's been really cool to see him do this season and be like kind of around it, just shadowing it and seeing what it takes to be a champion in this class. It's a lot of work, and it's pretty cool that he got to clinch it around early, and he earned that one. He podiumed every round so far, and man, he's been pretty much unbeaten, unstoppable. So yeah, I'm just learning. I'm trying to just take in everything I can with him, and yeah, like I said, it's been fun.
Thank you.
Nick, go ahead.
Thanks, Brendan. Nick Still, Moto Limited Show. Let's keep with Christian Craig. Christian, coming into the motocross season from Supercross, you had a pretty bad injury coming into motocross behind the 8-ball. How is your expectation? Have you reached your expectation, what you expected from this season, or is there still a little bit more to go? Where have you felt on the past rounds?
I kind of expected to be 5 to 7. I'd say like when everyone's healthy, and I did get a few of those in. I'd say like Millville and Redbud when everyone was healthy. I put some good riding in, but all in all, there was too many bad motos. I would say, like just kind of riding around in 10th or 11th, and it's been kind of frustrating. But I do know I believe that I could be a consistent top 5 guy. So yeah, the class is depleted right now, but I'm taking advantage of it and just trying to stack it up. Some good moto finishes and see how it plays out. So yeah, can't be too mad with it.
Absolutely. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Kellen, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. Kellen Brower here with Racer X. I wanted to ask Dylan, first off, congratulations, but I wanted to ask you kind of a question on your whole career and maybe your development a little bit, because looking back to your GP days, there's obvious signs that you had speed and talent all throughout, but you maybe had too many crashes or injuries or bad motos that you dealt with back then. That you've completely leveled out now to become a champion here in the 450 class. And I want to know what you believe are kind of the key catalysts to why those things leveled out and why you're able to kind of limit the damage in the motos now.
What happened when I was in MotoGP is that I had to face one of the greatest rider we ever had, Jeffrey Erlings, and so I had to fight against him every weekend, and so I tried to beat him every time, and he was just too strong for me, and most of the time when I tried to match his speed or his fitness, I was finished on the ground and hurt myself. So that's why I think my career in MotoGP didn't went too well, because yeah, he was just better than me, and I tried to match him and I tried to beat him too much, and finished too many times on the ground. So yeah, I think that's what also make me today better, because I learned so much from that and from him, and I feel like even today, like when I race against guys like Eli when he's on the best day, I feel like he could beat Jeffrey, but I don't know. I mean, Jeffrey is such an animal, and like he was really he's the best rider I ever have to fight against, and yeah, I think that's why in MotoGP I had some issue, but yeah, moving to the US was also for the Supercross. I wanted to ride Supercross so much, yeah, I don't know. I just always put my head down and try to be the best and the best I can, and put some work. And it took some time, I think, for my career to really get good. It took me some time to learn the life in the US and everything, and then I had a championship in Supercross, and yeah, from that I think I just get better every year, and yeah, I think this season I was really at my peak. Like I never felt that strong before, and I was just at the peak of my career. So yeah, I hope I can sustain this level for a couple more years, but yeah, I mean, anyway, it's yeah, the when you win a championship, like it's the best thing ever, and whatever happens in the future, you still own this championship, and that's the best feeling.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Alex Gobert.
Yeah, thanks, Brendan. Alex Gobert, MotoOnline.com. Is my internet all good?
Yep, you're good.
Yeah. I'll stick with Dylan. Congratulations. Can you explain to us the feeling when you got the clinched the championship in that second moto, and also looking back on the season, what was the standout moment, the highlight for you?
The feeling was actually weird a little bit today because I kind of, I don't know, I ran out of emotion, like almost like I dig deep so much this season, like on so many days of racing. Like I know Bud Quick, for example, where I just gave everything for win, and like I was just so tired today, and yeah, I just ran out of emotion, and I couldn't really realize like what I was doing, and but what was good for sure. But yeah, I don't know, it was just weird feeling. I just felt like I just did the job that all the people that pay me want me to do. So it was a little weird. I don't know. Maybe I need to think a little bit about it and put some words on it. But anyway, I think this season race like a high point where like big step up for me when I was able to beat Ken in both Moto and grab the overall. And I think more recently, Bud Creek was one of the best race of my career. Like both Moto, I was able to come back from behind and pass all the best guy in the sports. And yeah, like I said, I had to dig so much deep to get this overall, and I was just so stoked on it. And that day, physically, I felt invincible on this day. I was just at the peak of my season, maybe, I don't know, but that day I was just on the cloud, like I was flying, and that was such a good feeling. But yeah, after that, the week after that, and the weekend after that, I was really tired. So like I think sometimes when you really push really too hard, like after there is a cost, and that cost is to be a little more tired and take more time to recover. But yeah, sometimes you have to push more than everybody to get the win, and that's what I did, and no regrets, and today is just awesome.
Thank you. It's been really good to watch.
We'll go to Weege.
Yeah, Jason Wygant from RacerX. Dylan, we see how deep you dig, and you mentioned digging deep in these motos. Do you think not having the success you wanted earlier in your career gave you this extra motivation to see this is my opportunity? Because a lot of times riders at your age, it's hard to go that deep because maybe they've had 5 or 10 years of success at this point. Do you almost think that being a bit of an underdog and this is your moment gave you a little more motivation for these moments?
I don't know. The thing is, like I always did that. Like I always dig deep and then try to push the limit. But it's just that yeah, I had some injury. I had also to learn made my experience in racing, and I just think it took more time than rider like Eli or Ken. But I always been like the same. Like I think last year when I won the 250 Supercross and Motocross Championship, I didn't came like that. I had to dig deep every time also. So it's not really new for me. It's just that I think this year I make a big step physically, and also the 450 bike just fit me better than 250. I feel, and we find the best setup on the bike with the Yamaha Star Racing team, and I was just on rail and felt good every time I was on the bike. So that makes also a big difference. But the way I see the racing, the way I pushed when I'm on the bike has always been the same, and I always did that since I can remember. Even when I was a kid, I was pushing and like I say, sometimes too hard and finish on the ground. But I always been like this.
All right, let's go over to Justin Schuler.
Yeah, Justin Schuler kicking the tires. Dylan, I guess we'll just keep with you here, but we saw all year the Battle of the Nations between you and Ken. But Ken, as far as on the international list goes outside of the Americas, he's got the best record across the board. He's got the most wins, all that stuff. So you went head to head against one of the best. So what was that like, that competition against someone like Ken and that respect he has for competitors and his experience, and to come out on top of a full season competing against someone like that?
It was tough. Ken is really a legend of the sport. He's someone that I always look up, and even this season in Supercross, he was really the best example for me. I always try to look at what he do and what he make on the bike, and I've always been a little bit a fan of him, as well as Eli or a guy like that. Like, they've always been the guy that I was look up, and I think early in the season I was a little bit kind of shy, if I can say, like fighting against this guy, because I didn't really know like if I was capable of beat this guy, and I really tried to kind of forget about the name and just see them as a racer and just try to beat them. But at the end of the day, when days when I won, at the end of the day when I realized that I beat guy like Ken and Eli, I was like, just was unreal for me. And a lot of respect, obviously, and there's still to me there's still him, and especially Eli is still a legend of the sport, and I have so much respect, and I love watching them, and beat them this year is like great accomplishment, and like I say again, it's just unreal.
All right, we got time for 4 more. Andrew, go ahead.
Thank you, Brendan. Hey, Cooper Webb, do you think your recent success in motocross is sort of vindication for your sort of carving your own path? It seems like from recent press conferences you're talking, you revealed that you changed training or your practice regime, and you requested a change to the chassis. Is that sort of you articulating what is best for you as a rider, and that is in allowing for recent success in motocross?
Yeah, absolutely. As a racer, I feel like when you're gelling well and when you're not. And obviously, being a competitor, I want to be closer to the front, like I have been these last few. But obviously, it takes a lot. These guys are going really fast and everything dialed. So yeah, I think for me, when it was just not really going the way I felt like I wanted it to go, and I tried to hang in there as long as I could, but I just felt like I needed to change, and like you said, mainly to get the best out of myself. So yeah, I think it's definitely been good so far, and we'll see how it goes from here.
Thank you.
Nick, go ahead.
Thanks, Brendan. Nick Stillmoto Limited. We'll send it back to Christian Craig. Christian, throughout the season, you moved the whole family across the country all the way over to Florida. How was that, and how is it settling in with that, and moving the whole family at the same time as trying to go through and train and get on the bike as much as you can?
It's been a lot. We moved during the 2 week break. We actually sold our house in California and moved to Florida. So a lot going on lately, but I think it's all gonna benefit me down the road. And if I want to be on this Star Racing team, that was a requirement. So we packed up the whole family and we moved. We're not doing it halfway. We're going all in, and we're doing it the right way. And we bought a house and got the kids enrolled in school in Florida. And so far, it's been fun. It's a big change, slower pace than California for sure. So we're learning the ropes and enjoying the humidity. Kind of. That's about the biggest thing. The biggest thing for us is getting used to that weather. But it's been fun. It's been cool. Whole new experience for us, and something that we can look back on for sure.
That's cool. Thanks, Christian.
Kellen, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Kellen Brower with Racer X. Cooper, I wanted to ask you about this season. Although maybe it's tough to realize it after the performances you've had in Supercross, has kind of statistically been one of your best motocross seasons ever on a 450. And you've made significant improvements throughout the year, obviously on the bike and yourself. So can you even look back on this year and reflect on the positives and be satisfied with the things you've learned this year? Or has it just been frustrating that you haven't ran up front this whole time?
Oh no, I think like you just said, it's definitely been rewarding these last few. And yeah, obviously it's a bummer when you go from winning Supercross and being, up on the podium or winning races every weekend to, fighting for eighths and tenths at the first couple of rounds. Definitely a reality check. But like I said, I think for me, after Redbud was when I made the change. And since then I've been consistently, in that top 5 and back on the podium where I feel like I can be. So, it's definitely, you can take it for what it is. I would love to have been a bit better, but like you said, this is overall the best season I've had in the 450 class so far. And yeah, just looking to hopefully carry that into next year.
Great. Thank you.
Alex Gobert.
Yeah, thanks, Brendan. This one's for Max. I'm not aware of anything being announced in terms of your future, but can you shed any light on next year? Is it looking like there could be a team switch, or will you possibly remain on the same team? What can you say about that at this point?
God, what an awkward question. Well, I want to move to Florida. So that's my plan. I want to move to Florida. I want to go and train at the 83 compound. That's actually a friend of mine, an English guy, as I actually spent a little bit of time there before Florida last year, and honestly, I think I fell in love with the place. Like for training and riding, it was just unbelievable, and I just want to be able to be around people. For me, it's about being around people that are going to make me better, especially with Supercross. It was tough being in California with Suzuki here because we didn't have a test track that, I could ride with other top guys. I was riding at the local practice tracks, and now with Star Yamaha leaving California, all of the Motocross tracks are, like there's no one else out there. There was 10 of those guys riding around, so it would actually get pretty good, but there's not many guys even for outdoors. So that's a plan for me. I'm here to do the best job I can for my HEP Suzuki team for this next race. But no, I will be going a different direction for next year. But no, I can't say what it actually is. But it's but yeah, and I want to go and move to Florida. I just want to be better. I moved to America to kind of like Dylan. I want to race Supercross. That's what I kind of did when I was younger, and I had a great career in MXGP. And you go from one team to the next, and your goal was the world. My goal was the world championship, and it got to a point where the opportunity was here to come to America, and I really appreciate it with these guys, with HEP, the whole crew, just for bringing me over. It's hard to just get your foot in the door, especially on a 450. I'd raced 450 for years in Europe and won races, but they write you off. It's like, oh, can you ride Supercross? And I'm like, yeah, I can. Just let me have a go. And and it was one of those where normally the kids come over at a younger age, and I just wanted to get my foot back in the door. So it's all about learning and progressing for me, and I want to do that next step and be around guys that you know, I can learn from and try to be better at Supercross, and of course in motocross for next season. But yeah, that's about all I can say on that.
Yeah, no worries. I knew you would have a good answer. So yeah, appreciate it.
Cheers.
Awesome. Well, that's it. We're past our limit. That'll wrap it up. Thank you to our 450 racers for this, and congratulations on a great day. And we'll see everybody at Hangtown to wrap it all up.